morning students. Today we are going to learn design of welded joints for eccentric loads. So starting, what do you mean by eccentric load? So eccentric load, as already you have learned in your previous semester in strength of material, just have a look or a revision of that. What do you mean by eccentric load? So what is an eccentric load? When a load does not act on its axis of the column, that is known as your eccentric load. A load which does not coincides with the axis of column is known as your eccentric load. So here you can see this figure. This load P is not acting on the axis of the column, so this is an eccentric load. Next, the best example of a eccentric load is a man carrying a bucket of water in one of his hand. So when it is carrying the bucket in one of its hand, it is having a tendency to rotate. The man is having a tendency to rotate. But when it is the man is carrying two buckets in his two hands, it is balanced. So let us see this eccentric load as in figure B. Suppose we are taking two force P in upward direction and downward direction, which can cancel. So two force which are acting and on the axis of the column in upward and downward direction. So if we are separating this force as, if in next diagram, if I am taking this force as this one, so only this force is known as your what? Direct stress. So this is known as your direct stress. Okay, so this is known as your direct stress, and these two forces form a couple having a movement P into E. The perpendicular distance is E, so P into E, and this is known as what? Your bending stress. Here, when shear and bending stress are simultaneously present in a joint, then maximum stresses are here. Maximum normal stress is given by sigma T max is equal to sigma B by 2 plus 1 by 2 root over of sigma B plus 4 tau square, and these terms are already seen in your previous semester. Next, maximum stress, shear stress, that is your tau max is equal to 1 by 2 sigma B plus 4 tau square. So what is tau? Tau is nothing but your shear stress. Sigma B, as you know, is your bending stress. So in case 1, you can see this is a T joint and the welding is done here. Okay, so here the eccentric loading is there P, and it is having a size of S and a length of L. Okay, so a length of L, this is the load, eccentric load P, and this is your what? Eccentricity. Next, consider a T joint fixed at one end, subjected to eccentric load P at a distance E as shown in the figure given above. So this is the figure. So T is what? T is the thickness of the throat. So here you can see this portion, the weld, the thickness of the weld is your T. So here you can see, if I am drawing a 3D drawing, if this is a T section and this is the weld, so this thickness is your T, and we are generally taking this one as welded as a triangle. So welding is done like this. If this is the welding done like this, we are always taking as this, and this part is neglected, and this is known as your reinforcement part. So So when we are designing, we are taking this as a triangle, right angle triangle section. So here what is T? T is the throat thickness, L is the length of weld, S is the size of weld. So here we are having following two stresses. So here the joint is subjected to two types of stresses. One is your direct stress due to shear force P, and the other is bending stress due to bending moment. Here let us see area of throat. So what is the area of throat? Area of throat, A is given as throat thickness into length of weld. So throat thickness is your T, length is your L, and here we have multiplied 2 because the welding is done in both sides of the weld in a T section. Next, here T can be written as what? If this triangle, this small triangle, if I am enlarging here, so this is your S and this is your T. So cos 45 degree is equal to what? Formula of cos is B by H. So in place of B it is T, and in place of S it is H is your S. So what is T? T is nothing but T equal to S cos 45 degree. So in place of T I can write down S cos 45 degree. And what is the value of cos 45 degree? Cos 45 degree can be written as 0.707 into your S. So in place of T we are writing 0.707 S into L into your 2. So 2 into 0.707 we are getting 1.414 S into L. Okay. Next is your shear stress in the weld. So shear stress is denoted by as tau equal to P by A. Next, P divided by A. A we have, in place of A I have written 1.141 S into your L. So this section modulus of welded metal through your throat is nothing but Z equal to T into L square divided by 6 into 2, as we have welding in the two sides, so we are multiplying 2. So in place of T I can write down S cos 45 into L square divided by 6. So this 2 get cancelled with 6, so we are getting 3, and in place of cos 45 I am writing 1 by root 2. When 1 by root 2 is multiplied into 3, I am getting SL square 4.242. Next is your bending moment. So bending moment, M is denoted by M, that is nothing but P into E. Next, bending stress is denoted by sigma B is equal to M divided by section modulus, that is your Z. So in place of M I am writing PE, and in place of Z I am writing the value of this one Z, that is your SL square divided by 4.242. So SL square is written here, and this comes here, and we are getting what is the answer? 4.242 P into E divided by SL square, S into L square. Next, this is the case 2, and this we are having another drawing of a lap joint. So here you can see this is a diagram of a welded joint. It is having a length L of weld in both the side. So if I am drawing a diagram, this one like this and other one like this, and this, if this is the center of gravity, so it is forming, and if a load is acting here, so we are having an eccentric load P at a distance E, which is from the center of gravity P to the force. So let us see, we are here in this case we have a direct stress and a shear stress due to the turning moment. So first we have a direct stress and second we have a shear stress due to the turning moment. Next, let P is the eccentric load. So P here is the eccentric load. E, what is E? E is the eccentricity, that is perpendicular distance between the line of action of load and the center of gravity of throat section. So center of gravity of throat section. Okay, next, L is the length of single weld. So L is the length of your single weld. Next, S is the size of weld and T is your throat thickness. Next, here let P1 and P2 are the forces induced in the center of gravity in the system. The effect of P1 is equal to P as this is a direct stress and it is assumed to be uniform over the entire length of the weld. Next, the effect of force P2. So the effect of force P2 is produced for a turning moment, that is your P into E about your center of gravity, and due to this turning moment we have a secondary stress, shear stress. So let us see. Here your direct or primary shear stress is given as your tau 1. So that is your nothing but P by A, or you can write down load by throat area, that is your P by A. So P divided by A, you have already seen P value of A is 2 into 2 T into L. So in place of T I am writing 2 into 7.070 S into L. So that is in turn P divided by 1.414 S into your L. Since shear stress produced due to turning moment, that is your T is equal to P into E, is proportional to your distance R. Next, therefore the shear stress due to P into E at a point A is proportional to AG, that is your AG, and is in the direction right angle to AG. So it is at the direction of right angle to your AG. Next, tau 2 divided by R2. So tau 2 divided by R2 is equal to tau by R, that equals to constant, as it is proportional to your radial distance. So you can write down tau is equal to, here tau is equal to R get multiplied. So tau 2 divided by R2 into your R, where tau 2 is what? Tau 2 is shear stress at maximum distance R2 and tau is the shear stress at any distance R. Now consider a small section having an area dA. So this is a small section which is having an area dA at a distance R from your G. So let us consider a small area dA which is having a small distance distance R from your G. Next, shear force on this small section is equal to what? Shear force. Force is nothing but what? Tau stress into your area. Next, turning moment of shear stress about G is given as what? Turning moment is nothing but tau dA into your what? Distance, that is your R. Okay. Next, as you have seen earlier, R is not R, in place of R you can write down tau 2 into R2 into your R. So this R and this R get multiplied, so we are getting R square. So tau 2 divided by R2 dA r square. Next, total turning moment is what? Integration. So total turning moment over the welded area is equal to what? T is given by P into E, that is in turn integration of this term. So this one is tau 2 divided by R2 into dA into R square. So this is a constant, it will comes here. So the integration of this part is written as J is equal to this one, this part. So this one, in place of this whole portion I am writing down as J. So tau 2 by R2, and in place of this thing I am writing J. And what is J? J is the polar moment of inertia of the throat area about your G. Next, shear stress at to the turning moment, that is secondary shear stress, tau 2 is equal to what? So tau 2 here, if this is your T, so tau 2 is equal to what? This get multiplied here. So tau 2 is equal to T into R2 divided by J, and in place of T I am writing P into E R2 divided by your J. In order to find out the resultant stress, the primary and secondary are combined vertically. So as in mechanics you have seen what is R. R is nothing but your root over of F1 square F2 square plus 2 into F1 F2 cos theta. So here in this case, so resultant shear stress at A can be written as tau A, that is nothing but tau 1 square plus tau 2 square plus 2 into tau 1 into tau 2 cos theta. Next, what is theta? Theta is the angle between tau 1 and tau 2, and cos theta is equal to R1 divided by R2. So here we complete, this completes your class. Thank you.